A lot of people have asked how I got the name Fingerz. This stems back to early 90s, maybe 1992, 93. I had just moved back from Florida. I had lived out there for about a year. Came back, and during that time a friend of mine was working on a different album for a friend of ours, a group of our friends. They had a group called Clear Touch, and he was producing it, and he needed some editing done on that. So yeah, no problem. I've done a lot of different things that far back in my career, even editing. So I was not a problem. I did some editing on that, and we just continued working from there together. So we had a studio built in the Bronx, Power of Two Productions, I believe it was called at the time. But we had different artists that were coming in and out. So I had a project to write and produce a group. I think it was a group of 2 guys or 3 guys, something like that. And I remember I had written the track, they learning it, and I was in the studio producing it. One of the lead singers had walked by, looked, and saw what I was playing, like really fast sequencing on the keys, on the keyboard, and he yelled out, "You go, Fingerz!" And then kept going on to the waiting area to continue with the rehearsing of the song. And I'm like, okay, then continue the production. And from there on out, believe it or not, everyone that had come across me, yeah, that's Fingerz. Hey, yo, what's up, Fingerz? And that name, I guess because of the whole, it stuck because of the whole background in my production. And I obviously play and produce from the keyboard itself, playing my melodies or whatever it is, not looping or samples or anything like that. So from that, actually playing the notes on the key, that stuck. You go, Fingerz. I remember that, and that's it. Like they say, the rest is history. In fact, even from when the album for Clear Touch was actually finalized and the credits were put on there, it said the editing, Felix Fingerz. That name just stuck with me through the decades, I guess. But that was where the name came from. I was just laying down a complicated sequence, and the artist that I was producing walked by, saw me, and just yelled out, "You go, Fingerz!" And hey, the rest is history, like they say.